Hello, let's play a bunch of daily word games. The word games are daily, the series is weekly. We're going to start with our bonus game of Wordsmyth. So I'm just going to play in casual mode. I'm not competitive. So let's just play and we'll explain how this works. So what we need to do is we have kind of a clue, species of bear voiced by Jack Black, right? And so sorry, let's go through this a little bit more carefully. We're starting with the word diagram, and we need to transform it into one of these. We don't know which one to use yet. We have to go through them all. But when we transform it, for example, for this one, we're going to keep the first half and then prepend sauteing surface. So like a pan or something. So we would put pan and then keep the first half, and then that would be a species of bear by Jack Black. So that's going to give us panda. So what we need to do is wait for when we have a word that's just the first half of it is DA. So a four-letter word that starts with DA. NDA? No. DA, right? And then we're going to have panda. So that's not the clue for diagram. We want the opposite of apple, slang for a performance-enhancing substance. So we just take what we have and we append slang for a performance-enhancing substance, and that's going to give us the opposite of apple. That's probably not this diagram here. What would be the slang for a performance-enhancing substance? Like roid or something? Android. So we probably have the word and. We append droid and we get android. So we're not doing that one yet. Created or constructed. So prepend an M. The resulting change the resulting word to a homophone. So we can't prepend an M to diagram, so that's not going to be it. Anagram the whole word to get a noblewoman. So we could potentially anagram this to get a noblewoman. Let's see. Remove the first and last letters to get a common conjunction. That's not going to be Iagra. We're looking for a prestigious fashion company. Reverse the full word. Keep part of the word. So it would be Margade, and then we'd keep part of the word. I'm not sure how we do that. Prestigious fashion company. I'm not sure which one that would be. Hopefully it's not that yet. Result is helper assistant. So we remove a metric unit, also a granny. So a gram, remove gram, reverse the remaining letters to get aid, and that's helper assistant. So we found it. So our next word is aid. Using extra, you want to hide the on-screen keyboard? Sure, why not? Okay, so that gives us a little more room. Okay, so now we're at aid. What have we not seen? Just teacher or mentor. So we keep the first half and then prepend a famous pharaoh. Okay, it's probably not that. So this we're looking for panda. So we need something starting with PA. This we need android. Okay, so so this is going to be add an M to the beginning to get made, homophone it to made, and that's created or constructed. Okay. Now we have made. Still can't do panda. Can't do android. We can anagram made to dame, and that's a noblewoman. Okay. Now from dame, that gets us the duh for panda, right? So this is Jack Black, panda. All right. Now from panda, I think we're going to get and. We remove the first and last letters and get and, yeah. And then that's going to give us our android. We put roid at the end of and we get android. We talked about that. Now, we're either going to reverse the full word and then keep part of the word for a prestigious fashion company. We're going to keep the second half. This doesn't really have a second half to keep. So we need a prestigious fashion company. That's going to be from DOIORDNA. Maybe I can work backwards from this guy. A teacher or a mentor. So who's a famous pharaoh? Ramses? That doesn't make sense for a teacher or a mentor. Ooh, tut, maybe? A tutor. So the second half is going to be OR. So maybe it's just DIOR for our prestigious fashion company. And then now we have a tutor. So we keep the OR at the end, yeah. And then we do tut, King Tut. All right, cool. I did it. I think this is a pretty fun one. It really makes you think because the clues are not in order, and then but you can kind of work through these and try to figure out as many of the answers as you can, which kind of, if you can remember that, leads you to like, oh, this is what I'm going to be looking for when that's the clue. Very, very well made game. All right, let's continue to Dordle here. So why don't we start with tutor? Okay, left word has nothing, so let's just get the common letters. S-N-L. I could do snail. All right, still just a yellow N-A on the left is less info than we have on the right. I don't think we have enough on the right to just finish it, so let's do the N-A. I'd like to, you put the A somewhere where I could actually test something useful for the right word. So if I could put the A here, that would be great. Do we want to end in A-N then? Like what? Pecan? All right, so A is not fourth. So we either start with AU or we end in A. I kind of like AU. I'm not sure though. We could start a word with A for the left and keep going. A what though? AC? I don't know what we're doing with a C and N. Maybe not. What if we just try for this left word here? Like NA. What would it be? CY? Nancy? We could try Nancy. Or is there another Nancy word that doesn't repeat the N? I'm not immediately seeing one, so why don't we just go for Nancy here? Okay, well, it's candy. All right. This left word I didn't really learn much. It's not audit. I'm thinking this. But what would it be? The other option is like UT something A or the T fourth. This feels possible. With the letters we have left, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know what goes before that T or after the T. Do we have more vowels to work with? No E-I-O. We'd have to repeat a vowel. I don't think so. So is it A-U and a T somewhere? Oh, T isn't third. Tutor. I tried tutor. There's not two T's and T isn't third. I need to remember that. I definitely didn't see that. So the T is here or here. Does that change what this would do? U-T-A. This would be forced. Oh, I keep wanting to do NTA. Like there's like junta. Or I think it's pronounced junta because it's Spanish. But is there an umta? Ugta? Uvta? Ugta? I'm not seeing it. I can't figure out this word. I could do a filler just to like maybe get some letters. Because I can't find it. What do I want to use here? I could try starting with A or ending with A just to... Like, it's tempting to just get angst. Like, it tells me where the T and the A go, for sure. And G is a new letter. I mean, S is not, N is not. So I'm hoping there's something better. But that would be great. Or I could do, like, a TH at the end. Like, a wash. Let's try a wash. That also tells me if there's two A's. It doesn't tell me anything about the T, though. Maybe a wash isn't as good as I thought. I'd like to... Do I want to use the T? Maybe. About? Doesn't really help either, does it? Not any more than any of the other options. I think angst is better than about. Or I could do a wash to see if there's an H or a W. I'm going to go with angst. Holy moly. Oh, that was helpful. What is this word, though? Ought. It's ought. Wow. Okay. Well, angst was a very good filler there. Phew. Okay. Let's move on to Fibble. It starts us off with eagle. There's a lie in every guess. What do we want our lie to be here? So I want to use the A and the E somewhere. So I'm thinking an AER word, but I have to include an L or a G or a second E. But I can't do like logger. I could do wager. All right, what did we learn? This, okay, so we have an X-wing. There's only 2 lies in total. There's one in eagle and one in wager. Well, I found one of the lies. It's in these A's. One of these A's is lying. And also, this E or this E is lying. Either there's an E in the word or there's not. So if you're not an E or an A, or this second E, then you can't be lying. Sorry, if you're not an E or this A, or if you're not this E or this A, sorry, if you're not this E or an A, then you're lying. Sorry. You know what I mean. These aren't lying. You know, maybe this E can lie. Can it? No, it can't. If this E were lying, then there would be 2 E's in the word, but there'd also be an A in the word. So this, and it would be there. So this would be lying. And now this says there's no E. So yeah, this E is telling the truth. So what are we going to do with this information? We could, if we want to continue using the E, then we have to assume the A is supposed to be yellow. So we could do something like an EA word here, and then use the R. REA. So I'm sure there's something left we can guess. Creek. Sure, let's guess creek. We've got the E gray again. So with the E gray again, there's a lie between these two, which means we definitely know there's an A in the word. But we always knew that. The R is agreeing. Do we do another EA, but do like R something EA? I don't think there's a word like that. We could do RE something A. Relax, there's no L. Refax, we're refaxing it, no? Fax again, refax it. Redap, repat, no? You never know what re's are going to be accepted. We're up at bat again. We're rebatting. No, not on the word list. Remat, tap, resat. Okay, resat worked. What did we learn? Well, this A has to be lying. We know there's an A in the word. So we have learned that there is no E. So these are all, this is the lie. This is telling the truth. This is the lie. So there is an A second. I get the feeling this is lying, but there could be 2 A's. We know this is telling the truth because there isn't an R second, but there is an R. So we're at the very least, we're RA and then a bunch of stuff. I don't know if we could be no, we can't be radar because we can't end in R. So I don't know if we're AA like that. So I think what's happened is we just need new letters. How about rando? No? Where's the shot? Radon. Okay, well, these 2 are telling the truth. What are we doing here? Is there an RA something ON? Or is the N just the lie and we just need new ones? Maybe we end in Y. Rabbi. Well, it could be rabbi. Ooh, okay. So there's a lie between one of these 2. That doesn't really tell us much. Another RA. Razzie? Not a word. I really think it's just new letters. Ram, Rav, Raz, Rax. Is it R-A-U somehow? Raw. Oh, I'm lost. I think this is a Wordle I'm trying to solve and I just can't get it. Is rampy a word? It's very rampy. Ray something? Ray. I don't know. I don't think I can use. I think this A is lying, but is there a word that does this that I didn't think of? I'm very limited in what I can do here. If the A were here, I have to use a C or a K somewhere. So it would be like R-A-C-A or something. Or R-A-A-C. That just doesn't seem possible. Or K. So I think we're pretty safe to say this is lying and there's no C or K. And then we know at least one of these is lying. What if we did end in N and we were like R-A-D something else N? Raydun. Or we'd be R-A and then something else O-N. Is all possible. But I don't see a word. Ravon. We don't end in R, or I do something like razor. Nah. Never mind, not even that. Ramp, ram. I don't know. I could do a filler. I think it accepts humpy. It does. I like that Y. That's what I keep thinking, that it ends in Y. Does that mean I need to use a U? Or does that mean there's no U? I don't see how there's a U here. So I think it's just we end in Y here. We have no H, M, or P. This is our lie. These are lies. This is what I'm thinking. We could use the N still, just not at the end. We could use the I still. Oh, it's right. It's rainy. I actually had the A. I was omitting N and I instead of thinking they could be yellow. Wow, it lied twice about greens being yellow instead of gray. That's kind of crazy. Okay, rainy. Okay, got there. Let's do Betweenle. We'll start with rainy. All right, we're 13% away from the end, 19% away from all ours, 13% away from the end. Let's try like Umbra. We might be in T. Train. Okay, we are in T. Tonic. How far back in T do we need to go? A bit further than that. Tenor. All right, too far. I like TI. What's a good word for TI? Tipsy. That's fun. All right, TI tight. Okay. We're either yeah, I think we got to be a really early TI, but I don't know. Tibia. That's pretty early TI. Maybe we're TH. Oh, we could be a TH easily. Theme. All right, after theme. Time. Before time. Thump. Yikes. I'm not jumping enough here. Thumb would be too close. Would it be THU or would it be like THO? I look for a late THO, but I'm not seeing a THO word at all. Okay. THR maybe? 3? 3 goes up. Ooh. Right after 3. What is it? Through. Okay. Ooh, that was tough. I almost lost. Did not lose, though. All right. Let's do word 500. I keep forgetting to switch. I am now switching to advanced mode. 2 weeks in a row I did the standard plus. All right, we're gonna start with through. All red. Okay. Common letters. SNL. We could do snail. Ooh, 3 greens and snail. Let's say we have the AI in place. What would we want to do here? AI what? Could it be an AIL again? A veil. 1 green and a veil. Okay. So I'm thinking we have the A in the middle. No IL, which means we're SNA, so we could be something like snack. We are something like snack. Oh, that was a good one. Got there pretty quick. All right. Move on to Polygonle. Ooh, 6-letter word. These 2 repeat and these 2 repeat. If we were an ING word, that doesn't seem to work. What if we were like an ER word or something? That doesn't seem to work either. What if we end in S, we're plural, and we're a 5-letter word? What could go before an S? That doesn't seem good either. What if we just end in E? What if we were a re-word? Retire. Okay, we do have 2 E's, so they have to go here, because there's 2 of them. What do we end in? E-N? So where did the T-I go? I think the I has to go here. I think that's forced. And the T would go here, and then this would be edited. Nice, okay. I actually did a expert solve today. How many options were there? 19 words. Church, decade, decide, decode, delude, deride, dorado, edited, emblem, eraser, honcho, iconic, maxima, orador, rehire. I think ending in E was the good way to go. There's a lot that end in E. Also, ED words was the answer, but it's only 1 ED. Okay. Wow. This repeats a lot. Sassy? No. Nanny? No. Tatty? No. What's left? Daddy? There we go. Daddy. Okay. Alrighty. How many are there? Quite a few, actually. 24 words that do that. All right, let's do symbol. We always start with blaze and symbol. Okay, I'm going to assume that's all red, so I always follow up with toxic when blaze is all red. All right, I'm going to assume we have an O second. What can we actually do at this point? Maybe we can end in Y. Poppy, of course. Mommy, Poppy. I guess we don't have to end in R, but I mean, I could do sorry. I don't really want to repeat a letter, but let's just keep this game moving. Okay, so I think we have an O here and an R here. Is it? No, not sword. RD, RK. We're kind of low on vowels. Oh, could it be gourd? Not gourd, but the O-U-R is correct now. What is it? W-O-U-R? P-O-U-R? F-O-U-R? I mean, we've just been doing a Wordle solve the whole time. It's just a tough Wordle. N ending? Mourn. Like we're mourning someone's death. All right. Ooh, okay. Got a 5. I prefer 4 or less in symbol, but can't always do that. This was just a relatively tough Wordle to solve. I probably shouldn't have done sorry here, the double R. But I mean, it helped. We knew that R was 4th, and we knew there wasn't a second one, which does help. Okay. Let's do the blind Fusele. Our first twist is we're going to get a lie. We're starting with mourn. So the lie could be that that R isn't supposed to be green, but let's say the lie was actually something else. Here, oh, we have to do a guess with the vowels removed. So I'm just going to do sternal here. The lie could be that the R is supposed to be yellow. So anyway. Okay, so there actually is an R. So I think that wasn't lying. I think that is an R there. Here we're going to get symbol-like clues. What should I bring in? The O or the U, the N, the N? I think I'm going to bring in this O somewhere. We don't even have to put it second. Maybe an O-R-E word, not score. Chore. Okay, so we learned there's no O, so the lie here isn't the O. Oh, we have to put an A here. I guess that's reasonable. Put the R here. We could use an U, we could use an N, an M. What do we want to do here? Yeah, the A's been preset. That's our twist. What about like ARM, like charm? Oh, it's not going to be charm for sure. It's not going to be swarm. I might guess swarm anyway. Let's guess swarm anyway. All right, okay, so this is AR. So this twist is not much of a twist because it's just not going to tell us that these two are green. We don't end with an M, so maybe we have an N somewhere. Either that's that or we have a U. Could be guard. It is guard. Okay. I was avoiding that U because I didn't know where it would go, but as soon as I thought, oh, with the A there, UA, the guard just popped out. All right, cool. Well, those are the games for this video. Hope you enjoyed them. And if you did, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.